Hi everyone, my name is Mark Siciliano. I'm the owner of Golden Wolf Landscape and Design, and I just have an interesting topic that I wanted to discuss with you today regarding hardscaping and the types of bases we use here at Golden Wolf Landscape and Design. A lot of the industry has tended to use a dense graded base with quarry process, ranges from 3/4 inch clean stone all the way down to fines, and then as their base, and then a bedding layer of sand as well, and then the pavers on top of that. That's been used for many years, and people have had a lot of success with that, but we do it a little differently here. In the industry, they have recently came out within the past several years something called a hybrid base. This involves using ASTM 57 clean stone, and this is only allowing for better drainage in the paver base. Sort of to go off of that, water is the number one killer, 100% the number one killer of any hardscape, especially here in the northern climates such as New Jersey, where we are located. In New Jersey, we do tend to have freeze-thaw cycle, meaning in the winter, things freeze up. Water that could be trapped inside the base layer or the bedding layer could tend to freeze up and expand, because with freezing, expansion happens. And then during the warmer climates, come spring, summer time, it tends to melt and compress down into the original bedding height that when we originally put it in. So with this freeze thaw, there's a lot of movement associated with it, and the pavers tend to move and shift. So to go back to my point, with the hybrid base that we use, it allows for water to drain freely. Compared to the quarry process, dense graded base that many other contractors use, it holds some moisture. And with the hybrid, it also allows for water to move freely through the entire cross section of the pavers. Also, another big point is time and materials. Efficiency is the number one thing when it comes to any hardscape project, or any project regardless of who you are. If you save time, you could save money, you could save labor, and save your back and a headache, really, in the long run, just to make things move a lot simpler, easier, and smoother. So when it comes to a dense graded base using quarry process, and not the hybrid, I'll say, using that type of material for a base requires a lot more labor. That means a lot more time out on the job, a lot more money to spend for labor on the client's end. As well as when it comes to compacting, you lose a lot of material, because when you compact down with all those fines, they slowly move down to the bottom, and that means you require more material. So with compaction, it gets so densely packed that you need to have more material. So just say with an example of you need 10 yards of quarry process, you're probably going to get down to maybe about 6 yards compacted. 10 yards you bring in with all air in there, and then you got to compact that down to about 6. So you lose a good amount of material just in the compaction phase. So that means more materials that you're going to need, as well as more labor to compact it as well, having a guy out there just running the compactor over it. Compared to the hybrid, it's already 90-95% compacted when you install it. That means less time out there, more efficiency, less time compacting, also more time completing the job, and less time just compacting and doing all of the preparation work to get the patio installed. And in this industry, efficiency is everything. Time is money. Every industry, but especially this one. And you're also not going to lose that compaction, that loss of material when you compact it down. Just say if you bring in 10 yards, you'll probably be left with 9.5, 9 3/4 yards. So you're not going to lose all that material, so you're going to save money, material as well. Also, to go back to the moisture, in the dense graded base, you're going to have efflorescence, which means that there's going to be a discoloring in the pavers. Reason being moisture. Like I said before, moisture is the #1 killer of any hardscape. And then with a hybrid base, you're not going to have that. So you're going to not just help with the freeze-thaw cycle, with the movement, you're also going to keep the pavers looking clean, fresh, no discoloration, nothing. It's going to be beautiful for many years to come. Also, with the hybrid open graded base being somewhat newer in this industry, there's been a lot of concerns with the type of edging to use. Edge restraints sort of help compact everything in, and the patio not move laterally. So it just locks it in on the corners, the perimeters. So with this new material that a lot of contractors have been using, and us being one of them, with the hybrid base, using the 3/4 clean as your base, it's been very tough for a lot of contractors in the industry to find a edge restraint that could be used to compact and hold together the patio that won't break, that's cost effective, and that'll work. So there's two options that we could use here at Golden Wolf Landscape and Design. One thing that we really use that has been used throughout the industry has been the aluminum edge restraint that allows it to butt up right against the edge or the lip of the patio, and they're sort of L-shaped spikes. Instead of having 8-inch rods you put in, they're L-shaped spikes that we put in that holds a lot of the material in, not allowing for this lateral movement that could take place in the patio. Another way that we could do this with the edge restraint is having reinforced concrete. Reinforced meaning having a type of fiberglass or some other fines in there to make it stronger. Like I said before, in the northern climates, we are faced with a freeze-thaw cycle. So typical concrete, normal concrete without any reinforcement or fiberglass, that has a chance to crack when moisture to come around it, and that's something we don't want to do because that'll lead to failure in the patio. And water, moisture is the #1 thing. So having those reinforced concretes along the side, the perimeter, would allow for a stronger edge restraint that won't crack and will lead to a lifelong of the patio succeeding and enjoyment of it as well. Also, the last thing, polymeric sand. As the bedding layer for dense graded materials, you use a concrete sand, a masonry sand, for your bedding layer, 1 inch. And when you compact that down, the fines or the sand that is in the bedding layer tends to migrate up through the pavers, already creating that interlock in a dense graded base. So compared to a hybrid or open graded base, when you install the bedding layer, it's a 3/8 clean stone, ASTM number 8 to be a little more specific. So when you install that, the bedding layer does not migrate up through the pavers to create that interlock. So polymeric sand has been used for this type of base and this type of installation to enhance the interlock as well as enhance drainage as well, allowing the water to flow freely through the joints into the open graded base with the 3/4 clean stone and allow it to exit, not creating a built-up retention of the water. Like I said, water, I'm going to repeat this many times because it's very important in this process. Water is the #1 killer in any hardscape. So polymeric sand is used to create interlock as well as to create drainage that is used. There's many different products out there, many different manufacturers, vendors that are used to install this or provide this material, the polymeric sand. They could be incorporated in a wet application or also it has to be a dry application. So there's many different avenues that we have available to us as contractors. One could be more expensive than the other, so depending on budget, but polymeric sand would just help lock everything together, allow for that moisture to fall through the joints and exit through the open graded base. So to sort of hit on the last point, why hybrid, open graded base, whatever you want to call it, is so beneficial is because of moisture. It allows moisture to exit quickly because there's no fines in it compared to a dense graded base that other contractors may use. The materials used may be a little more expensive, but you're going to get a lot more lifetime out of it. And with anything, I know personally, if I buy something, I want it to last. So with an open graded base, this is what you're going to ensure lasting for many years. Your patio, your hardscape, whatever you decide to install, whatever we install for you, that is something that will last for years, that'll be strong, that won't move with the freeze-thaw cycles that we experience here in New Jersey, and just allow for a longer lasting product. And that's where we're here. We have warranties on everything that we install because we stand behind our work. So if we install something, we're going to make sure it lasts. And with these processes that we use, with the materials that we use, with the training and education that we provide for our field technicians, guys out on the field, we make sure everything lasts. And this is one of the things that separates us, the open graded base, compared to other contractors. So that'll be all for today. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. Email me, text me, call me, whatever works best for you. And I'd be happy to answer any questions regarding this topic in more depth. I'll leave that in the description below. But thank you very much for watching this video, and looking forward to the next topic with you guys. Thank you.